Chelsea have finally won a game for the first time since January 15th. And it is the exact same score from that day, 1-0 against Leeds. Can't sit here and be too unhappy off that result because we won a game. We won a game. Finally won a game. In what seems like an eternity, the goal drought of 6 games is done. We finally scored, albeit off a set piece, and it was very scrappy, but a goal is a goal. And we won the game. We won the game. We finally picked up a dub in the Premier League in well over a month. And you can't sit here and be too mad at that. I think, in general, man of the match for today has to be given to Wesley Fofana. That man looks a proper defender. He looks as though he could become one of the better defenders in the world. He's pacey, he's strong, he makes good decisions. He's got insane hops, as you all saw in that goal. I mean, the guy looks like Rudiger. He's giving me shades of Rudiger, and that's promising to see him back. We just need to keep him healthy going forward because, without him, Badiashile looks young without Thiago Silva. Koulibaly isn't good enough. He doesn't look good enough. Trevor Chalobah is a good rotational option, but he shouldn't be starting for Chelsea week in and week out. So Wesley Fofana has to be that guy, and he stepped up today. We needed someone to step up, and he did. He did, and you could see the relief on the players after the goal. João Felix had a great game today. I think João Felix, even though he got taken off at 67 minutes, which we'll get into here in a bit, I give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he looked solid. He was by far most threatening attacking player who isn't named Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling probably should have scored today, but João Felix was insanely unlucky not to score again. How many times did this man hit the post? I mean, that's from Kai Havertz doesn't even shoot. João Felix hits the post every time he shoots, and Raheem Sterling puts it over and misses as well. We've got 3 players in attack who cannot score to save their life. But rest my peace. I think João Felix is our best attacker and showed it again today, and he's going to have to show up big upcoming this week against Dortmund, or else we're going to get embarrassed. Ben Chilwell also had a great game today. I think I gave him an 8 out of 10. Ben Chilwell was threatening off the left. As a wingback, he looks like a stupendous player. I mean, he is way better as a wingback than he is as an actual left back. Again, promising that we saw a change in formation, which we'll get into in a minute. But, Ben Chilwell, for most of the game, he gave us something that we don't have when we put on someone like a Mudryk or someone like a João Felix or a Sterling off to the left, or even Pulisic for that matter. They all want to cut in on their right. Ben Chilwell's left-footed, so he puts in crosses with his left foot, which is something different. And I think that's, we saw a massive improvement in the attacking from the wide areas today because of that tweak. The last thing I want to get into is Graham Potter. Graham Potter basically had another nightmare of a game. We won the game, but it was scrappy. It wasn't clean. A lot of pointless horizontal possession. After we scored the goal, we got really flat. And even at the end of the first half, we were really flat and frustrated. But he did do well. The reason I give him 5 and not like a 4 or 3, even though we won the game, you got to give him 5 because we won the game. We did manage to win it. And I actually think we benefited from the change in formation. We look like well-structured. We have a little bit more of an identity with a 3-4-3. And I think that's probably because Tuchel was there for so long. And a lot of these players are Tuchel players and learned from him and had a preseason learning the 3-4-3. And I think we really benefited from playing with that formation. And I'd love to see it during the week against Dortmund this Tuesday because, I think we'll give them a better run with that formation. I think we looked better in the pressing as well today. We pressed a lot today, and I think that was much, much improved from the last few games because we've been so passive. The last few games, we've just let teams pass around us. We sit back in a low block, and it just doesn't work with a 4-2-3-1. Now we chuck an extra center back in the mix. We start pressing, and we forced a lot of mistakes. We pressed the issue, we forced the issue, and we created chances for ourselves by high pressing, by making these defenders who are not able to play it out of the back, play it out of the back. And again, props to Potter for finding that, making that tweak. But that needs to be a staple of our team going forward. Football nowadays is all centered around pressing, and we're one of the better teams in the world by squad depth and talent. We have to show it. We should take the game to the opponent regardless of who we're playing. Okay, this is the real reason why I say Potter got a 5 out of 10. after we scored the goal, we kind of went flat. And instead of putting on some energetic attacker around 60 to 70 minutes in, he waited the 67th minute and then proceeds to take out Ruben Loftus-Cheek for Conor Gallagher and João Felix for Denis Zakaria. Why? He played Kovacic and Conor Gallagher as a double 10, a dual 10. What is he doing? What on earth are you thinking? That is where you chuck your 90 million pound signing of Mudryk with loads of pace to go after and press the back line to try and keep them back because they had to go for the game at that point. We had scored. Instead, you sit back, ask for more pressure, and, we could have easily drawn this game today. Very easily could have drawn it. And if we did, it was up to Potter. Substitutions were atrocious. Very scattered. Chukwuemeka came on, which I don't mind. I think he's a good player. Is he good enough to play consistently for Chelsea now? No. Maybe in 5 years, possibly. But I don't think he's there yet. And why is Mudryk sitting on the bench? I don't understand it. Why is Aubameyang sitting on the bench? Aubameyang has to start against Dortmund. Kai Havertz offers literally nothing up front. Apart from the one time he stepped in the midfield and played a long ball horizontally to Ben Chilwell, I believe, early in the first half. He did nothing. He offered nothing. I mean, he had one shot, but he tried his classic Kai Havertz chip, which is all he knows how to do, and it was saved. It was a good save, but it was saved. I think we need a finisher, someone who's going to run behind, run the channels, press the back line, make them work. Kai Havertz doesn't do that. Kai Havertz doesn't offer anything up front, and I don't understand this fascination with Kai Havertz from our last two managers. I get Tuchel wanting to do it because Tuchel liked him and he was German himself, and he kind of found that Kai Havertz had probably the best form of his career under Tuchel. Man's been absent since Graham Potter took over. He's been completely irrelevant. I also think it speaks volumes to how Potter views Aubameyang, because Aubameyang should be playing. He's the best finisher at the club. Period. He has to play. Final thing I want to say is, can't really complain. We won the game 1-0. A win is a win. Finally break the little awful streak we've had, and we finally get a dub. But nevertheless, moving forward, we have the game against Dortmund this week. We're down 1-0 on aggregate. That is a game in which I think today saved Graham Potter a lot of criticism if we lose on Tuesday of this week. He bought himself at least a month and a half to 2 months of time with this win, which I'm not really a fan of, but I understand it. A win's a win. Hopefully we can use this as a pivot, use the momentum, the confidence that we now should have after this game and after the win, and beat Dortmund 2-0. That's my prediction. That's my hope. Appreciate you all watching this video. If you all don't mind subscribing for more content, like the video if you enjoyed. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.